Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. Custom 6v6 action on the cards this afternoon with an eclectic mix of Joes and Pros. Very exciting. However, what's a little less exciting is the fact that I've done this intro about 5 times now with people knocking at the door, the dog going crazy, and the last one was a frickin' Jehovah's Witness. But anyway, what's more unexciting or depressing than that, those of you who like the Facebook page will be aware, my best laid plans to set up a raffle for Guilecast for a lucky winner of my Patreon subs to go toe-to-toe with me and spank me in front of the whole community have been torn asunder, torn a new one, if you will, by Patreon themselves, who informed me that such a raffle would be a violation of their terms of service. So once again, in classic Guile style, I have managed to scupper my plans by not reading the frickin' instructions to something. It's just my life, and I can't make myself do it. I won't read the next thing that I'm supposed to read either. It just won't happen. I'll just click yes and get on with it, and then get upset about whatever it is I miss later. So essentially, the Patreon say I can run a raffle, but it has to be open to my patrons and non-patrons alike. Otherwise, it's a violation of their TOS, which kind of scuppers the entire point. I guess I could go to another platform, which is inelegant, but it might be something I'll have to consider. Somebody worryingly suggested that it might also be an issue with UK gambling law as well, so I don't know whether that might be a problem. It's just really annoying. I thought it was such a simple, clever idea, and it turns out it actually wasn't. Massive apologies to Jaren as well, who put together that handy little app for the Patreon to make my life easier, like working off the API of that, so it was going to make it all sorted. I guess I could just go, do it direct through PayPal. I was trying to, I don't want to set myself up for an admin nightmare. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get 600 people say, yep, I'm in, let's do it. But I could potentially, and then I've got 600 names to sort and a raffle to sort that, and that is a literal admin nightmare. I really don't want to get involved with that. So it would be so much better to work it off a different platform if I could, but it's so inelegant. I've just can you tell I'm pissed? I'm so pissed off about this because I thought this was going to be a brilliant new addition to the channel, and it's not worked out as yet. But I'm determined not to quit here. So if you have any comments or suggestions, do keep them coming, guys. Just, however you want to get to me below the videos or direct messages, all comments and ideas are welcome. As always. That's enough of that depressing stuff. Let's get on with something that's going to make us a little bit more happy, and that'll be some Subcom goodness, which is going to take place on Adaptive Pyramid. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how they're going to get on. Chang! Ka-ching! Instant loading, that's what we like to see. We'll call this Team 1 up here at the top as they gate in, and this Team 2 down here at the bottom going first for Team 1. Rearguard air position. It's Scullet, or Scullet, as they might say in France, but we're not, so it's going to be Scullet. And he's opening first land in Baby Blue. Below him in Vivacious Violet. He's gone Cybrin by accident, presumably it's Suzuki. And he's opened first land. Team member number 3 to his south, our second Cybrin, it's Choink! I love that. Don't you love that? Choink. It's just satisfying to say. I'm probably going to be referring to him much more often in this cast than he deserves, just so I get to say the word Choink. And he is going Cybrin, as we said, opening first land in Lurid Green. Team member number 4, it's our Lil Sid Lil, our resident top pro, going Aeon, our first of the day in Ferrari Red, opening first land. Team member number 5, it's Prince Ronald, another UEF in Baby Pink this time, going first land. And last but not least, for Team 1, on his way to the middle, it's Fair Dog, our second Aeon in Burgundy Red, and he opened first land. So it's 2 Aeon, 2 UEF, 2 Cybrin there for Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2. Rearguard air position, as usual, Limes 3, or Limes, our first Seraphim of today in Pontiff White, going first land to his north. Team member number 2 for Team 2. He's not in his base, he's already on the move. It's Eric as Clan, from Clan Mav. So it reads Maverick, but I don't actually think that is Maverick. I think that's somebody else. I did a quick username utility in there. The other Maverick names didn't pop up, so I'm assuming that's somebody else. But we'll soon see if he starts saltily cussing everybody throughout the duration of the game. If he does, then we know who we're dealing with. And if he doesn't, well, we can assume it's someone else. It's Hallie Orange Orange, as we said, opening first land, going Cybrin. Team member number 3, F Odin, because Thor's clearly superior. In Spetsnaz Green, going UEF, opening first land, second air. Team member number 4 in the center, strutting his stuff towards the middle. It's Cyrax in mellow yellow, going first and second land. Team member number 5 also out towards the middle now. It's Shady Socks, our second Seraphim, on Team 2 in combat green. He opened first land, and last but not least, in Regal Purple, Bravo from Bravo TV, going UEF, opening first and second land. So there we have it. Game quality's 92% there for what we consider more or less a balanced game. Little bit of lab play out from our bottom rated player as it happens. He's actually going to get first blood. Prince Ronald 900 rated, and he's well below everybody else. Team 1 with a massive gap between the top and bottom rated players there to balance things out. Lil Sid Lil at 2400. So that's the person they want to scalp. That's the person that's going to give them the least benefit of scalping there, although he could actually be well rated below his ability. 900 rated, he's being aggressive, which is what we like to see. Got the first blood there. Little bit of early lab play never goes amiss. 6 player version of Pyramid, not often something we've cast here. Slightly different from your average setup on Pyramid. Expect to see unusual placement of ACUs on forward bases. This is pretty standard and conventional. Shady Socks going straight for the center. You usually get a couple of forward positions set up here and then one down here on each side. But who knows? Remember, you've got this inner ring. Could be laid out differently as things go on. Fair Dog standing his ground as F Odin trundles in with a scout and a T1 tank. Little bit of harassment from the skies there from F Odin as well. Prince Ronald losing a couple of units of build capacity in that. Bomber gets shot down by Skullet's defending interceptors, and a solid run up the western edge of the map there from Limes. Transport with about 4 or 5 NGs just dropping them off periodically as he makes a play for the top left corner. Although again, more lab action from Prince Ronald. That may be the same one we saw earlier, that Mech Marine with 1 kill to its name. Looks like he's about to bag another one. Keeps moving to avoid a reclaim order. Should probably stick about and finish that off. Indeed, he looks like he's going to. Down goes that NG. We've got more engineers inbound, though, there from Eric. So a lot of presence up this left-hand side of the map. F Odin and Eric, both with their ACUs, sticking close to one another and bearing down on Prince Ronald, who will be going 2v1. Where's his teammate? So his teammate, veering more towards the middle, has set up shop on that inner ring, and with his ACU now bearing down on the positions in the center. Shady Socks under attack from a bit of pressure there from Choink and from Lil Sid. T1 spam encroaching on the ACU. Shady Socks going to back up slightly with the comm there. T2 upgrade on the way for Cyrax. He's rooted to the spot for a while the forward position of F Odin comes under attack from Fair Dog. Build capacity does manage to get a plasma cannon online, but that's unlikely to stick around for very much longer. Heavy firepower incoming there. Fervor's lobbing shells in. Enough to deal with that. Down goes the radar as well. And that's going to be the end of that forward factory. Team 1 on the march here in the center. Shady Socks under pressure still from Choink and Lil Sid. That probably means, though, things at the fringes going better for Team 2. F Odin harassing Prince Ronald, who's rooted to the spot and on his own T2 upgrade, but that's considerably less well advanced on just 18-19%. Build capacity hurriedly getting a PD online. F Odin is going to back up. If they both bun rushed him with the 2 ACUs, they could knock that position out pretty easily, but are going to attack from the skies instead. back to the middle. Things getting real down here now for Shady Socks and Choink. Choink's pulled his comm to engage directly and is going hell for leather against that ACU. Drops down into the yellow. 8,100 hit points there and falling. Lil Skid joins Fair Dog, skirting around the pyramid to engage Cyrax's comm directly. He finished that T2 upgrade, was trying to get a Triad online, but he's not going to be successful. Instead, he's going to have to back up as Lil Sid's Auroras engage that non-completed PD. Mex is taken out. And what you're witnessing here is a major capitulation in the center for Team 2 as Shady Socks gets cornered and surrounded down into the red. He's not going home. Boom, baby! Choink scores the first kill of the game, and it's Team 2 who lose out. Power vacuum now created. That's a very vulnerable position. Cyrax needs to drop back with his comm. He's desperately trying to get an emplacement online to help cover his retreat. Does manage it, but he's surely not going to be able to hold that. Lil Sid and Fair Dog there with his comm. Choink to the southeast, and that is a major win in the center for Team 1. How are things going on this fringe? We haven't looked down here much. Bravo nearly completed on his T2 upgrade there, but Suzuki well on the way with a point defense creep. One Cerberus turret online. He's already got the engineering suite completed. Bravo completes his and then withdraws. Starts construction of a Triad. Build capacity left to carry it on. He's going to try and complete it with his comm, but is now taking fire directly from one Cerberus turret while the other one wails away on the Triad. He's trying desperately to complete. Does complete it, but the completes on a little less than 60% health. Major entanglements now between the spam of Bravo and Suzuki in the bottom right corner, just to the east of where the two ACUs are battling it out with their base wars. It's actually in around the back of that point defense creep now for Suzuki. He'll want to tie that up so he can complete his conquest down here. Things going well for Team 1 pretty much everywhere, except up here, although that might be about to change. Fair Dog redirecting a small band of Team 1 as Prince Ronald continues a point defense creep of his own. T1 bomber in over the top, doesn't get the bomb away. Missed opportunity there, gets shot down by a defending interceptor there from Eric. Eric on 68% complete, route to the spot on his own T2 upgrade. Four land factories are spitting out decent amounts of reinforcements. That's covering the pressure coming in from the east. But the main threat now is the point defense creep, which is getting ever closer from Prince Ronald. Let's check back in on the bottom right. Looks like Suzuki still making progress. Bravo might have to back up again. That would mean the loss of this position, that mass extractor in these three factories. He's already lost the hydro. Things not looking good right now for Team 2. Choink trying to cut off more reinforcements coming in from the main bases back here and isolate Bravo's comm. Not looking great at all right now for Bravo, but it's not a persistent reinforcement attempt there for Choink. He is consolidating back here and at his main base, taking the opportunity, no doubt, to progress on Eco. Eric, having lost his forward factory, stops for a moment to try and get a couple of PDs online, builds one, neglects the other, and continues to back up. I think he will stem the tide of this invasion a little bit with that point defense. He can afford to stop retreating for the moment at least. Prince Ronald redirecting forces up to the plateau at the top left of the screen. Going to try and grab a couple of extra mexes there. Suddenly a couple of gunships turn up, 4 to be precise, as he got the interceptor coverage to protect them though as they counter-attack. One inti from Skullet locks onto that directly, and in come the rest of them. Eric, not with any air coverage of his own, has to rely on Limes, who's got a small band back here. Needs to be careful, doesn't want to throw away those 4 renegades. That's a pretty large investment at 11 minutes. And if you can get them somewhere sensitive with good fighter coverage, you could do some decent damage with that, and that's something that Team 2 desperately require at this stage in the game. Things not going brilliantly for them. Suzuki trying to get a T2P gen online, utilizing the engineering suite on board that comm, getting it online, but in a risky, precarious situation. Look at that, though. T3 strap bombers online for Limes, trying to dish out the damage, going straight for his rival in the air position after his power grid. 1 strap bomb takes care of the 2 T2P gens. Very nicely done indeed. What's that done to Skullet's power? Well, it's power locked him hard is the answer to that. Interceptors inbound, lock onto the strap. They take a kicking though from T1s, and of course can outrun in a straight line. And he's managed to do it. Will he save it? There's a lot of T1 anti-air that he's flying over. T1 mobile, if he can bring his own inties in, might be able to save it. It's a badly damaged strap bomber. Might want to just take it home and control K, or just stop it moving there and letting it get shot down. That is a definite mistake. Didn't want to do that. A little bit of a shame. That was a nice little timed strap bomb over there. Back to the airplay in the top left. Prince Ronald falling foul of these renegades now, trying to hurry along a railgun and produce more archers out of these land factories, and he's done enough to resist this air attack. You got to give credit where credit's due. He's holding the line against much higher rated players. Clearly learned everything he knew from watching Guile casts, or somebody else far more knowledgeable and talented at casting, of which there are many. Small numbers of T2 units rolling in now from Bravo. Still massively outnumbered though by that swarm of Mantis from Suzuki. That's a hefty group of gunships on the ground there. One gets picked off by the ASFs lurking above though, which have discovered them. Strafing those gunships as they lie on the ground. Skullet losing out here. He's behind in the air race, and now no doubt be preoccupied with trying to rectify his power situation. Those pillars we saw from Bravo getting pretty deep into Team 1 territory there, but not able to take on any real solid base destruction work. Another strap bomber out there. Oh, just placed a little bit too far to the left. Misses that T2P gen. Oh, he's going to cause yet more problems for Skullet. He just got those fixed. Skullet once again nailed hard. He's not power locked though as yet. Still 2 more T2P gens over here. Limes would love to pick those up. Might get a bomb off. Doesn't manage it on that pass. ASFs providing good fighter screen at this point. Going this time after Prince Ronald. Ouch. What's that done to Ronald? Well, he's still just about got his head above the water line power-wise. Swift Wind out for Lil Sid, trying its best to deal with this strat. Oh, core mass down. Another T2P gen down. Skullet power locked like crazy once more. And now at least he's got a flare operational SAM coverage in that base. But that's a brutal bit of airplay from Limes. Another strap bomber out, really taking advantage of this air superiority, which he's managed to get. T2 mechs down there for Choink. These bombing runs making me very happy in pants, I have to say. As you look at that, taking stock of the general position on the battlefield. Prince Ronald still going toe-to-toe with Eric over here in the top left. Proper point defense wars going on. Advantage as usual, of course, for the UEF in that one. Down here, Suzuki making solid gains still, using Viper mobile missile launchers to continue to cause headaches there for Bravo. And of course, Team 1 still solid at the midpoint over here. F. Odin past the front line with his comm. Has a little cheeky land factory online. Wants to be careful. Miasma static emplacement there, and some tactical missile launchers as well. Kicking around for Fair Dog. F. Odin's main base, the potential target. Shield blinks back on just in time down here for Bravo. Seems to have just been one step behind Suzuki in this base war. Taking a look eco-wise though, and it tells a very different story. So all of this aggression, all of this territory that's been gained, not translating into economic advantage. Massive economic advantage for Team 2. And I mean massive. 458 versus 237. 278k versus 237k. That's huge. And it's widening all the time. It's 200 and what? 20, 30, 40, 240 mass deficit. How? How have they let it get to this? Well, quite simply, Team 1 clearly aren't teching up their eco. They've gone aggressive, they've gone for territory. Now they're behind in air tech, air power, and on eco. Shady Socks from the sidelines, suggesting to go for a nuke. See, final core mass about to finish upgrading there for Limes to T3. And we're yet to see a single T3 on core mass yet for Skullet. Of course, he has been under sustained air attack, as is everyone else, but we're just seeing the first T3 mexes complete in the main bases now for Team 1. Very different story to Team 2. T3, T3, T3. It's T3 all over for Team 2. They've been happy to sit back. They've taken the losses of position, the loss of Shady Socks in the middle. And they've used that time to tech up their eco and now reaping massive rewards. It's an interesting quirk of the game on these larger maps. Winning territory doesn't necessarily translate into an advantage. Ultimately go very bad for you if you push too hard too early. Choink advancing now with his merry band of T2 on F. Odin's main position. F. Odin pulling his comm back to defend. A lot of T2 in the field there for Team 1 between, the violets and purples playing tricks on me. That is, of course, Bravo bringing his pillars back in to help plug the gap and prevent Choink from sneaking those rhinos into anywhere essential. Never a good idea to have rhinos anywhere essential. Far too horny in more ways than one. Eric starting work on a Monkey Lord up at the front. Prince Ronald still up front with his comm. It's all very static under there. Hopefully they will scout that out, otherwise Prince Ronald could be in for a rude surprise. More miasmas on the way. Little Sid on 101. They're 2400 rated player, but that just shows you, I mean, look, you've only got one player under 100 on Team 2, and that's F. Odin, short stacking on 67 for Team 2. Everybody else is over 100. Team 1, Little Sid, their top rated player, the 2400 rated player, who's 400 points clear of anybody else in the entire game on global ranking, is only on a paltry 102. That is what comes of too much early pressure. I'm starting to see more and more of it these days. It just seems more sense to hang back and make your opponent expend resources and energy gaining ground that ultimately they don't actually necessarily need. Sid really going for it on the miasma front. Has 3 operational batteries now under that forward shield. How far are we along with that Monkey Lord? Eric flying along with construction of that first experimental. Prince Ronald likely to be its first recipient. Looks like it's been spotted. Whether or not he's actually seen it, though, it's been flown over. Lovely little strap bomb there from Bravo, who's transitioned to T3 air. Skullet's got a handle on the air situation now. It's got a decent band of ASFs over here. They weren't quick enough off the mark, though, to pick off that Seraphim Strat as it came in and just lobbed a bomb onto that little plateau there, a little land nugget. Eric completes his spider bot. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't send that straight over to Prince Ronald. Attack missiles being launched in the direction of Eric's forward base this time. And Prince Ronald has no idea what's coming his way. A cheeky little stealth experimental, and you just very often don't know what's going on until it's too late, until that turns up in your face. Prince Ronald about to get blapped. The triads open up, but to very little effect. One shield won't last long against firepower. Prince Ronald going home in a body bag, or rather a very large urn. Prince Ronald quick to blame everybody else. Thanks for scouting, he says. And cue the salt. Little Sid with the obligatory response. It's always somebody else's responsibility. Swear to God, like my household when my kids are acting up and saying it's not my fault. It's not my fault that I didn't tidy my room and so I tripped over the thing and smashed my face on the counter. It's not my fault. It's nobody else's fault. Take some responsibility. F. Odin with an upgraded Rambo comms, FAF personal shield and nano on the warpath with a couple of parashields and some Percivals for backup. All the while that Monkey Lord still tearing things up north of the border. And is this where we see the main counter-attack, the result of that massive mass deficit in favor of Team 2? More than likely another Monkey Lord on the way. Things quiet down here for now, but this forward position for Team 1 looking perilously isolated now. Might have to cut their losses and withdraw. There are a lot of emplacements and things dotted around here, but solid attack from another Monkey Lord with a bunch of Percivals in tow. It's not going to last long, and do you know what else won't last long? Wherever that's going. Presumably they've scouted well. That would be my pick, and that's where it's going. They've tried to get an SMD online, but that's too little too late. It's only just completed. No missiles are loaded. ACUs evacing. Choink should make it out, but just about nothing else will. Boom! That's a thing of beauty. Pressure now released on the main bases of Team 2. Eric drops back slightly with his comm. He's going to throw down a shield. First Monkey Lord with 96 kills to its name. Still stampeding around the area. Not a lot of hit points left. We've got Percivals amassing down here now for Bravo. A few more of those, and this is just going to get minced. We do have bricks rolling into support. 6 of them down there. Bravo's on 129. Suzuki's on 121, so there's not a lot in it there. Choink needs to get a move on. Those bricks might be able to stop that Monkey Lord from Eric. Not that it's in any danger of causing any more damage. Seems more concerned about a rare bald-headed eagle nest in that cliff face. Particularly rare in this part of the universe. Eric, well known for his dislike of rare birds. And it's on. At least it looks like it's on. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner. It's been a long time coming. Bravo has been in perpetual retreat down here, as has Team 2 generally. Likely be a fatty he's completed back at base. One Percy down. There's a lot of bricks up there. Maybe he wasn't expecting them. Need to get in there and take out some of those bricks. Still plenty of Percys left. Monkey Lord still online. Second one completed. not going to be a lot of Percys left after this. More bricks rolling in. More support coming in as well. Parashields could have done with more of those at the start. That Monkey Lord finally about to get taken out. There's a whole bunch of broadswords from Scarlet turn up. Yeah, that's the end of that, but still performed admirably. Limes dispatches his ASFs, but doesn't go full head-on into enemy territory. Damage is done, no point throwing away ASFs, he thinks. Monkey Lord progression stopped. Should just send that in. Very little on the ground up here. Make it potentially all the way back here. Needs to worry about those broadswords. That's the only concern. Needs assistance from Limes' Air Force to protect it. Cyrax completes an experimental. Fatty online back there. There's that other experimental we saw completed for Bravo just a moment ago. But that forward base from Suzuki is kaput. And he's pulled his commander all the way back here. 853 mass now to 532. Look at that total differential. 770k versus 561. That is huge. And now they've got experimentals to worry about coming their way. Lil Sid completes one of his own. He started work on a crab. Does that mean he started with a Monkey Lord? Yes, it does. Having a slight malfunction with its control mechanism. Oh my god, did he just have to control K that because that was stuck on the land? That's painful. That is very, very painful. Beneficiary, of course, will be Suzuki. He'll be happy with getting some control over that mass field. But of all the times to get it as well, when you're this far behind, you need those experimentals on the field. That is brutal. That happens with the pathfinding sometimes in this game. Always been remarked. It's one of the few things that are less than perfect. Monkey Lord continues to progress forward. ASF's waiting for Skullet to pounce there with his broadswords. He's got a lot of flak. Those bangers accompanying that Monkey Lord with that sweeping laser. In come the broadswords, in come the ASFs. That's a good engage. ASF to ASF for Limes. Second pass will lock on to the broadswords for a moment. All the time, of course, these bangers just tearing into the gunships. And yes, the Monkey Lord lost a lot of hit points, but there is at least 25.5k left on the clock. Plenty for that seriously well-placed Monkey Lord to do some serious damage. It opens up, incinerates a couple of factories up to the middle. Fat Boys arriving on the scene. And to the right, this is looking extraordinarily bad for Team 1. Just didn't eco hard enough, and now they're paying the penalty. It looks almost like this is a comeback on the cards, but it's not a comeback. Team 2 have been ahead the whole time. Eric wants to keep that Monkey Lord moving, which he does. One broadsword holding up well against the anti-aircraft fire on board the Monkey Lord. But now, look at Choink's brick army just getting peppered with fatty artillery fire. Good control from Bravo, recognizing the threat, turns the Fatty around, has Percival's with some shield coverage, ready to defend. But look at this, Monkey Lord still going for Eric. He's taking fire though from this megalith from Sid. What's he going to be able to bag before he goes down? Will he get the T3 HQ? Yes, he does, just before he goes down. No more T3 planes for the time being from Skullet. Another nuke out from Limes, who's been instrumental in this game. GG thrown out from Suzuki. That nuke primed on Choink's main base. Little Sid under fire from the Fat Boy. Ras cancelled. Where's the nuke? There it is. Nothing to shoot it down. Choink's base is gone. Boom! Is that little Sid? Lots of nuclear explosions going up. Lil Sid, control K'ing, everybody control K'ing. Notify, not alerting us to it. And there it is, mass capitulation. And that may feel disappointing right at the end, but really, all of this would have happened a minute or two later. There was no way they were going to hold that off or turn that around. That is a solid, solid win there from Team 2, who, yes, lost Shady Socks early on. But ultimately, it paid to hang back, eco hard. Just shows you what you can do in these larger maps when you've got a decent amount of mass available to you at home. And you can come back with a vengeance in the mid to late game. Just 33 minutes long, that one. Short for a game this size, but still very entertaining. I hope you'll agree. As always, more to come from me in the future. Don't forget, guys, Patreon is always an option if you want to support me. Otherwise, you can do it directly through PayPal. Details on how to do that below this and each and every one of my videos. Thank you to everybody who's donated so far, and to all of those who will donate in the future. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget, if you want to offer me advice, I'm always open about how I can best get this raffle operational. Message me either through Facebook or the forums or whatever you like. All options on the table. Any ideas gratefully received. Until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile, signing out.